Hey everyone, and welcome to the No DQ live recap of Friday Night SmackDown for January 10th, 2020. We are getting close to the Royal Rumble, just a little over a week away. Actually, I think it's more like a little over 2 weeks away. I'm not even sure. Wait, it's the 10th. I think it's the 26th. So we got 16 days left until the Rumble. So yeah, a little over 2 weeks. I know my basic math, guys. I don't know much, but I know a little bit of math. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started with the recap, and a quick shout out to everybody in the chat room for tuning in live, and thank you to everyone else for watching, whether it's live or on demand. Let's go ahead and get started. We had the usual intro, pyro, all that good stuff, and then we kicked off with Miz TV. The footage was shown of the Miz snapping, going crazy, attacking Kofi Kingston last week. The Miz told everyone that he was just having a bad day. And he said that sometimes you just don't want to smile, but when somebody keeps trying to get you to smile, you feel like you have to punch that person in the face. Miz said he let his emotions get the best of him. He's sorry. He said he's been going through a lot. He had the whole ordeal with Bray Wyatt, the Fiend. But there's one bright spot in his life, and that is the return of John Morrison. John Morrison came out. Unfortunately, not much of a crowd reaction for him. I was hoping for better. Although I will say, it was cool to have Morrison come out to his old school theme music. No new theme, although when he cut his promo, he did reference WWE possibly giving him a new theme. Hopefully that doesn't happen because I love his old school theme. Morrison came out and Miz said that he overuses the word, but this is truly awesome. And then Miz showed a video package highlighting all of Morrison's moments in WWE. I thought that was pretty cool and a good touch to remind fans just who he is and introduce him to the newer fans. Good stuff here. And then Morrison talked about how that there were these plans for him to return at the Royal Rumble, have new theme music, as I mentioned, and have this whole new presentation. However, he saw what happened to The Miz and felt like he had to show up on SmackDown. Morrison then said that he's disappointed. He's disappointed in the people. He's disappointed that The Miz had one bad day and the fans start chanting, "You suck" at the guy. They ignored all of his hard work, and he started talking about how none of these fans have ever been in the ring. They don't know what it's like to go through what The Miz went through. This led to Big E and Kofi Kingston, The New Day, coming out. Big E said The Miz is not a very good actor. They see through his crap. And Big E said that Miz could not even cut it as the back end of the Human Centipede. Ooh, diss right there. For those of you that have seen the Human Centipede, you guys know that, yeah, that's pretty nasty. Anyways, Kofi got in the ring and said Miz should have just stopped talking when he was saying he was having a bad day. And Miz said that he respects Kofi. He respects that 6-month reign. He also respects the 6 seconds that it took for Kofi to lose the WWE title. And Miz also said he respects how Kofi just smiled instead of trying to win back his championship. Kofi had to correct The Miz and say it was 8 seconds, not 6. And then Kofi added that The Miz has gone from the cool Miz to the annoying, obnoxious Miz. And then The Miz, that led to a match. We had The Miz one-on-one with Kofi Kingston. We had John Morrison and Big E on commentary, and Miz ended up sending Kofi into the lap of Big E. We had a commercial break, after the break, Morrison ended up taking out Big E, and due to the distraction, we had The Miz hit the skull-crushing finale, and he picked up the victory to get his win back from last week. 50-50 booking, everybody. Miz gets his win back over Kofi Kingston, although this week he had John Morrison watching his back. We then had a Firefly Funhouse segment with Bray Wyatt, and he said to everybody, "Come closer, come closer." He then said, and I quote, "I love you." But then he said, "Not everyone is worthy of love." And he mentioned Daniel Bryan. The Fiend does not love Daniel Bryan. In fact, The Fiend feels the exact opposite way. And then he said that Daniel Bryan has been naughty, and he is in a whole heap of trouble. And we had little footage shown of the whole Daniel Bryan Wyatt family storyline when Bray tried to recruit him to the group. And then Bray finished his segment by saying, "Now the Fiend just wants to hurt Daniel Bryan." Psycho Jet Black with the $2 super chat says, "When should Miz and Morrison win the tag team titles?" Good question. I could see it happening very soon. I mean, it doesn't really need to happen right away. WWE could potentially drag this out until WrestleMania, but I would not be shocked if Miz and Morrison win the titles at the Royal Rumble and New Day wins the titles back at WrestleMania so New Day can continue their record-breaking title reigns in WWE. Would not shock me at all if that's how it goes down. Got a $5 super chat, thank you very much, from Tim Heidenberg. Says, Miz could have been a great face, but WWE Creative failed him. See, I do agree that WWE Creative could have done a better job with The Miz as a babyface, but with that being said, I still think Miz is way better as a heel. Miz as a heel is gold. He is just a natural trash talker, and Miz pandering to the fans and all that, I was just never a fan of it. But yeah, WWE Creative dropped the ball with that Shane McMahon storyline and Miz getting his ass kicked by Shane on multiple occasions. Just wasn't a fan of that. Miz, way better as a heel. Doesn't matter how the writing is. Miz is just a better heel. Backstage, we had Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose. Sonya was very excited about being in Mandy's corner, but Mandy said she has to take care of one thing first. As Sonya walked off, Mandy had this box, or one of those gift boxes, and she took a peek in it, and then we had our next commercial break. When we came back, we had Elias doing a song talking about the Royal Rumble. He said everybody's going to lose, and that includes Roman Reigns. And he was wondering what's under Eric Rowan's cage, and could it be worse than a Lana and Lashley sex tape? He then talked about Brock Lesnar and said how it's easy to hide behind an opinion when Brock Lesnar is never there. And Elias said, unlike Brock, he has a personality and he's not afraid to talk. And then Elias said, when he beats Brock Lesnar for the WWE title, he'll gladly show Brock the door and show Brock what WWE stands for. Now, listening to this promo, I'm like, well, wait a minute. Is the WWE title on the line? And later on the show, Corey Graves did confirm that the title, at least at this time, is not on the line. So just to make that clear to everyone, I guess Elias wins the Royal Rumble and then faces Brock at WrestleMania. Yeah, Psycho Jet Black, Elias is supposed to be a babyface now, if you were wondering. We had Mandy Rose backstage with Otis, and she revealed the gift box, which was a cake to make up for, what was that cake that Otis had that got destroyed? I already forgot. But Mandy had this cake that had "I'm sorry" with a sad face on it. Tucker was not impressed. He doesn't feel that Mandy Rose can be trusted. We had Mandy Rose one-on-one with Alexa Bliss. And at ringside, we had We had Sonya Deville out there, of course. We had Nikki Cross. And then we had all of a sudden during the match, we had Heavy Machinery come out. Otis was eating the cake as he walked down to ringside. And due to the distraction, Alexa was distracted by this. Mandy Rose picked up the victory with the fruit roll-up. Then we had Lacey Evans come out for her match that was scheduled against Sasha Banks. However, there was no Sasha to be found. Bayley was backstage. She said that, yeah, Sasha's not there. Sasha has a real commitment in LA and had to finish her rap album. Lacey said she was there to fight. She wants to fight there in the heartland of America. Crowd started chanting USA. So basically, Lacey Evans is now Liberty Bell from Glow. For those of you that have seen that show, it's pretty much the same character. Lacey went backstage. She got jumped by Bayley. Bayley told her to put on her mom jeans and go home. Lacey then fought her off, and it's looking like we will get that match at the Royal Rumble. I'm not sure when we're going to have Lacey versus Sasha. Maybe next week. Who knows? And I have no idea if Sasha is doing a rap album or not. Keep in mind, she's Snoop Dogg's cousin, so it's always a possibility that Snoop could hook her up in the studio. We had a Daniel Bryan backstage interview. He said that The Fiend wants a lot of things. Bryan talked about how he outsmarted the Wyatt family back in the day and how The Fiend did change Daniel Bryan. However, he changed Bryan for the better. And yes, The Fiend will hurt Daniel Bryan. However, The Fiend cannot break Daniel Bryan. And Daniel Bryan said that The Fiend can be beat and The Fiend can be hurt. That's when we had the Rambling Rabbit appear on the screen. And he said he has a secret. He has a way to beat The Fiend. But then before he could say it, The Fiend grabbed poor Rambling Rabbit and said, "Snitches get stitches." And then he finished the promo saying, "Let me in." We have a $2 super chat from Tim Heidenberg. Thank you again, Tim. He says, should Brie Bella get involved in the Bray Wyatt feud? I really don't feel that's necessary because we just had Maurice involved in the Miz storyline, so you really don't need to do the same storyline twice. I really don't think that Daniel Bryan's family needs to be involved just because we already saw that storyline with the Miz and his daughter and Maurice and Miz's two kids, I should say. Next up, we had Braun Strowman versus Shinsuke Nakamura, the Intercontinental Champion. We had Sami Zayn and Cesaro out there interfering, of course. Cesaro sent Strowman into the post when the referee wasn't looking, distracted by Sami Zayn. After the commercial, Sami Zayn got on the apron. Cesaro tried to bring in a chair. Strowman went after Cesaro, and then Sami Zayn handed Shin the Intercontinental title. Shin tried to use it. It backfired. Didn't work. Strowman hit the power slam for the 1-2-3. Strowman held up the championship, but then Sami grabbed it and fled, ran away to the backstage area. So it looks like we're going to get the IC title match at the Royal Rumble. But the thing is, Strowman beat Shin with 3 guys out there. So how are we supposed to believe that Shin has any chance of beating Braun Strowman when 3 against 1 he still couldn't get the job done? Psycho Jet Black with a $2 super chat says, is Brandy Rhodes more over than Dolph Ziggler? No, and I'm starting to think that EC3 might be more over than Brandy Rhodes. You know, for the longest time, I was trying to figure out who's more over than EC3, or who's not more over than EC3, and I think that Brandy Rhodes might start to take the cake as far as that role goes, and the Dark Order as well. I think EC3 might be more over than the Dark Order at this point. Next up, we had a Sheamus promo, and he talked about how he showed that rat, Shorty G, how much things are going to change now that he is back. And he said that being small is not something to embrace. It is something to be crushed, exterminated, and disposed of. And then Sheamus finished the promo by saying, size does matter. And yeah, there is one thing that Shorty G is right about. You should embrace who you are. And Sheamus is going to embrace himself, and he's going to embrace chaos. Sheamus is serious, folks. He is dead serious. We had Daniel Bryan backstage, and he found this gift in his locker room. He opened up the gift, and it was poor rambling rabbit with his head mutilated. He basically had a lobotomy, courtesy of Bray Wyatt. Man, how many times has Rambling Rabbit died now? He is truly the Kenny from South Park of WWE. We had the big dog, Roman Reigns, come out, and he talked about how, 2019 was a blessing for him. He came back from his leukemia battle, but he's had to deal with Baron Corbin, and he needed some help. Not just the help from his friends, but the help from his family. And last week, his family came back and helped him in a major way. He said 2020 is going to be his year. He is going to win the Royal Rumble and main event WrestleMania for the 5th time. Crowd felt a little mixed on this. I think they're all starting to be like, oh no, is Roman Reigns back in the main event again? Is it time to boo him again? Roman introduced the Usos. Usos cut a promo talking about turning SmackDown into Friday Night Lockdown. And they talked about how it's tough watching Queen Corbin attack Roman Reigns. And when Corbin, the Queen, used the dog food on Roman, Corbin disrespected Roman, disrespected the Usos, and disrespected the whole family, damn it. This is when Baron Corbin came out, said the big dog is scared to face him one-on-one. Corbin vowed to win the Royal Rumble, and then Roman Reigns said, well, you know what? I'm not afraid to face you one-on-one. Before the Royal Rumble match, we're going to have a one-on-one match. Corbin accepted the challenge and then said that he is going to take care of the big dog's 2 bitches. And then the Usos were like, to hell with that, fam. They jumped over the top, did the big dive onto the security, and then after the commercial break, we had our main event, Dolph Ziggler teaming up with Corbin against the Usos. Revival came out to cause a distraction, but Roman Reigns then popped out of the backstage area. I guess he went backstage and then came back out. I thought he was at ringside for some reason, but I guess he went to the back. Roman Reigns came out from the entranceway, hit a Superman punch, hitting both members of the Revival with one Superman punch. We had a commercial break, and after the commercial, we had the rest of the match. Corbin threw the Uso member into Roman Reigns. I'm not sure which one. Still don't know which Uso is which. Reigns then came back, hit a spear on Corbin, which caused a disqualification. Roman was then going to powerbomb Corbin through the announce table when all of a sudden, Robert Roode, fresh off of his 30-day suspension, came out, attacked Roman Reigns, glorious DDT on the outside, spine buster onto the table, and then Dolph Ziggler, for good measure, did the elbow drop to send Reigns through the table. The heels celebrated, and that was the end of this week's SmackDown. Overall, I thought it was a fairly decent show. Not quite as good as last week. So my letter grade for SmackDown is going to be a B-. What did you guys think in the chat room? The game is on 100 with a $5 super chat. Thank you very much for that. He says, Baron Corbin, Robert Roode, and Ziggles versus Reigns and the Usos next week or following week. I hope Reigns and Corbin ends at the Royal Rumble. As we all know, Roman goes over. Spoiler alert. Now I'm not so sure if Roman's going to win the Royal Rumble. I thought he was an easy bet for the Rumble, but this match being added makes me think Roman's going to beat Corbin to end the feud, right? And Roman lost at TLC, so he's got to win this one. I'm like, 99.9% certain Roman's going to win the match with Corbin. And that will be his excuse for losing the Rumble because he had to compete twice in one night. So I'm going to say now Roman's not going to win the Royal Rumble. And he was going to be my pick initially. So this is why we got to wait until everything is laid out for the pay-per-view to really make solid predictions for the Royal Rumble. But as Christopher Mace points out, Roman could end up winning the Elimination Chamber. So let's see what you guys thought in the chat room regarding the show. Chris Mace gives it a C+. Michael Wayne with a B-. Steve-O with a B-. CC Drink B+. Ace and his Familia Vlogs B+. People's WWE Channel with a C. Ma Wrestling with a B-. Pretty good letter grades here. Calvin Bowman with a B-. Mike B with a B. And let's see here. Michael Wayne with a solid B. DJ Whitey with a $5 super chat says, that Daniel Bryan promo was a joke. The Fiend ain't dropping the title no time soon. I do not take him serious no more ever since he went back to his old look. I'm not expecting Daniel Bryan to win the title, but I mean, it's a nice gimmick to make fans think perhaps there's a chance Bryan will win. You know, changing up Bryan's look and doing all that, I think is a good way to set up a second match with Daniel Bryan and The Fiend. I do like it. But yeah, I do agree with you. I don't think Daniel Bryan's winning the title, nor do I think it's a good idea at all for that to happen. But maybe Bryan will do something to maybe convince fans that he can beat The Fiend at the Royal Rumble. Maybe we'll get some kind of angle that will convince you more, at least, that there's a chance Bryan will win. And then I got a $5 super chat here from Ken, terminated by Google. Thank you very much, Ken. He says, Mace, are you a mark for ice cream, and are you happy that the WWE ice cream bars are making a comeback? Too bad Caitlyn ain't no fan, LOL. I'm hoping that there will be the ice cream bars in Michigan. I looked up on Good Humor's website. They have a page where you can enter a zip code, and there was no results for Michigan, which made me a very sad panda. They better have the ice cream sandwiches in Michigan because I definitely want to try it. I don't know why. Maybe it was because I was a kid, but I had very fond memories of those ice cream bars. Like, I thought that they were really good. And maybe I was just a kid and didn't know any better, but I did like them. And I'm hoping that these ice cream sandwiches will be pretty good and they're not just some generic crap that has a WWE picture on it. We will see. But I would like to review them for NoDQ.com, of course. Journalistic purposes. And Ken, terminated by Google with another $5 super chat, says, sorry, that last super chat was for you. I should stop drinking on Friday night. I always enjoy giving you a super chat rift. Well, thank you, Ken, and I appreciate your viewership and support, and you are definitely one of my favorites. And you know what? For tonight, you are an honorary No DQ Super Chat champion. One time only. I'm not bringing the title back, but every now and then I make somebody an honorary Super Chat champion. So congratulations to you, Ken. That's a little special shout out for you. Now, I have a big announcement. Well, not really a big announcement, just more of a confirmation from the No DQ review. Make sure you guys check it out if you haven't already. Next Thursday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, it's set. We finished the testing. Everything seems good to go. This Thursday night, 7 p.m., the No DQ review goes live. So we'll have the chat room. You guys can super chat us questions. You guys can bitch at us about stuff. Whatever you want to do. It's going to be a fun time. This is going to be the first ever live No DQ panel that we've done. First time we're ever going live with the group of guys. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It might be a train wreck, but I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you guys tune in. Thursday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. And Ian Joplin, okay, so I got to do this now. Ian Joplin with a $50 super chat, which means, Ian Joplin, you're now an honorary No DQ super chat champion for the evening. Says, No DQ Live is some good shit, pal. Vince Russo will be revealed as the leader of the Dark Order. Okay, bro? I would love that, to be totally honest with you, just because it would piss off a lot of people. I would get personal entertainment from it. But I know like the AEW fans would be pissed off if that happened. But that's why I would enjoy it, just to see people get worked up. Uthman Rules is like, if Russo does that, I will leave AEW. Oh, it's Ian. Sorry about that. I cannot pronounce names to save my life. Ian Joplin. Thank you. And again, Ian Joplin, you are now the honorary No DQ Super Chat champion. One time only, folks. I'm not doing this as a regular thing. The title's not coming out of retirement. It's just a special shout out that I give to people. And Kayfabe Candy Ass says, can you say my name? Kayfabe Candy Ass. There you go. I would love to see Vince Russo just make an appearance. I always felt like Russo should have just shown up at a pay-per-view, and then it would be a great way for somebody to get a babyface pop. Somebody comes out and beats the crap out of Russo or gives Russo a finisher. Let Russo do a one-off appearance. That would be fun. And I'm still waiting on a Russo Cornette podcast or something at StarCast. I know it's probably never going to happen. Highly unlikely in all likelihood. But man, I would really enjoy Vince Russo and Jim Cornette in the same room at the same time. I would pay good money to see that, personally. But yeah, I don't think we will ever get those two guys under the same roof at the same time. But hey, if there was enough demand for it and people want to make money, and you know, it is the wrestling business, it's a business, you're trying to make money, I think there would be money in a Cornette and Russo confrontation. Hell, even do a boxing match, but just a verbal debate between them, I think would be awesome. Uthman Rules with a $5 super chat. Thank you very much, Uthman. Says, I plan on going to AEW in March in New Jersey. Would I be able to call in during the review? I would love for that, Uthman. So remind me, because I may end up forgetting, but I'll try to get you on depending on the situation. I would love to have you on for a recap of AEW. And by the way, just so you guys know, I mispronounced his name a ton of times before I got it right. I always called him Offman Rules, and it was Uthman the entire time. So I apologize for butchering the names. I am terrible when it comes to pronouncing names. Cornette versus Russo, according to Kayfabe Candy Ass, would be in a most annoying accent match. Yeah. Well, I like their accents. I think it would be very entertaining personally. You got a Southerner versus a Northerner, a New Yorker and a guy from the South. I mean, it's perfect to me. Anyways, guys, I'm going to sign off for tonight. Thank you very much for watching and tuning in. I appreciate your viewership and support. Again, Thursday night, 7 p.m., the No DQ review. And I might be back on Sunday. I'm thinking I will be, to recap the NXT UK pay-per-view. I haven't been watching the shows at all, but I do plan on watching the pay-per-view on Sunday. So some weird-ass time, like 3 Eastern, I might do a quick live stream to give my thoughts on the show. But if not, then I'll give my thoughts sometime during the week. So stay tuned to NoDQ.com and make sure you follow me on social media at NoDQ, DOTCOM, and at Aaron Rift, Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff. And I will see you guys next time.